Today on Sports Central, we'll be going over a college football game preview over one of the huge ACC matchups coming up in week number 6. And that's going to be between Miami and Clemson. Both of these teams, of course, coming into this matchup are sitting undefeated and top 10 teams in the nation as well. So it's definitely one of the most important games of the season up until this point. And also, it's definitely the biggest ACC matchup of this season so far. Of course, for both of these teams being ranked as high as they are, if Miami wins on one hand, you could easily see them be a top 3 team in the nation next week, and then they'd also be easily a national contender. Meanwhile, for Clemson, if you lose this game, that could be extremely detrimental to your chances of even being in the college football playoff this year. So, very important game for both these teams moving forward in determining how they're going to end up finishing out this season. In which, once again, Miami being a team that has really surprised many people, including myself, so far. They're on a roll right now, and this would be a huge win for them if they could pick it up in Clemson on Saturday. But nonetheless, today we'll be going over a prediction and preview on this game, starting out with your team trends. Last game a couple of weeks ago, Miami beat Florida State 52-10. So, Miami played really well in that matchup, 52-10 once again. That's a 42-point win for Miami. Completely destroyed them in that game, which Florida State this season really has not been playing very well. I believe they trailed Jacksonville State for the majority of the first half last week. So that is something that is very concerning for Florida State. But Miami in general, 52-10 is easily a good win no matter what. Last week, Clemson beat Virginia 41-23, which allowing 23 points to Virginia does concern me a bit. And that's also the reason why I don't think Clemson is quite the best team in the nation right now. I do have them being the second best team in the nation, just behind Alabama. But Clemson, if you're allowing 23 points to Virginia, that does concern me just a little bit, but still, a win's a win. But as far as your winning streaks go, of course, both teams are 3-0, so they all have 3-game winning streaks. Miami is ranked 7th in the nation, meanwhile Clemson is 1st. So once again, just imagine though, we've seen so many upsets so far this season. It would be insane. If Miami won this game, I think all hell would break loose. Miami would be a top 3 team in the nation, possibly even a top 2, who knows. It would be just insane if Miami won this game. That's all I can really say about that. But this game's going to be on Saturday, October 10th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern in Clemson. Spread currently says Clemson by 14. ESPN FPI also has Clemson 86%. And the Vegas prediction has got a blowout towards the Clemson side. 45-24 is the score prediction there, which definitely, for them to predict a blowout out of Clemson there, that's a 21-point win. So that is something to definitely take note of, because the Vegas prediction usually is pretty accurate as to how the game usually goes. So 45-24, that's what it's expecting right now. But all three of our sources here are expecting Clemson in a moderate to a high-scoring game, and also a big win as well. Something to note there. As far as your stat comparison goes, these are your previous game stats. Last game for Miami, they had quarterback Derek King. Of course, he's been playing really well so far, and especially in their game against Florida State. He played excellent, 29 for 40, 267 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty much as good of a game as you can get, except if he could have just had that completion rate a little bit higher, that would have been great. But still, his completion rate was good no matter what. But as far as it goes for Trevor Lawrence, he used 25 for 38, 329 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he had a good game as well last week. Top running back was Travis Etienne, 14 attempts, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Then your top receiver was also Travis Etienne. He had 5 receptions for 114 yards and a touchdown as well. So he was definitely the MVP of that game last week against Virginia. He put up nearly 180 yards of offense between both receiving and rushing. So all around, Travis Etienne just did a great job last week, so watch out for him. He's going to be a big player in the NFL, I think, coming up next year. Other than that, your top receiver was Amari Rodgers, 6 receptions, 72 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Frank Ladson had 5 receptions for 71 yards as well. So both offenses are great. That is something that you do need to take note of here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring matchup between two really good offenses. Once again, when you got Derek King on one side, who's been playing really well so far, he's definitely a quarterback that I think has got a lot of upside and a lot of potential for sure. Watch out for him. And then you got Trevor Lawrence on the other side. All around, this should be a very offensive game. And then as far as your last 5 games go, of course, this is going to be something that we're starting off this week. And we only have 3 games so far this season, and that's what we're looking at right now. Of course, Clemson played Virginia, got a win 45-23. They also shut out the Citadel, as they should have, 49-0. Then they also beat Wake Forest 37-13 in the first week of the season. As for Miami, they blew out Florida State 52-10. Had a big win over Louisville, which was ranked 18th at the time, 47-34. Then they also had a big win over UAB, 31-14. And of course, UAB, they're no pushover team, so that was a good win for Miami there as well. So all around, yeah, both these teams, as far as strength of schedule goes, I'd say Miami has played tougher opponents, but Clemson still, I'd say, has played better in the season up until this point. So at key points, Miami is the big surprise teams of the season so far for sure. I think Miami kind of has come out and really surprised a lot of people, including myself. Like, I thought Miami would be a good team and possibly a bowl contender, but I mean, for them to be ranked 7th in the nation right now is something that's definitely eye-opening for me, and it's something that we got to watch out for. Like, Miami could, I mean, once again, if they win this game, watch out. It's going to be crazy. It's just going to, I mean, they could be a top 3 in the game, top 3 team in the nation if they do end up winning this game, which, yeah, I mean, they're already one of the biggest surprise teams. It'd just be kind of crazy to see them win this one as well. But yeah, Clemson's off to a great start too, though. Like, do not sleep on Clemson here. We could easily see a big performance out of Clemson as well. But both offenses are looking great. D'Eriq King has been big for Miami as well. Of course, he transferred in from Houston after last season, so it's been really big for Miami to have him as an addition because the quarterback situation over the past couple of years has been a bit down for Miami. It just has not been as good. So for them to finally have a quarterback in D'Eriq King to play really well for them, like, that is exactly what they needed this season to have a big year. But with that being said, here's what my prediction is for this one. I think your halftime score is going to be 24-20. Clemson will lead, so you're going to have a very high-scoring first half. I do think things kind of lighten off just a little bit in the second half, but we still see a pretty high-scoring game with just right around 75 total points in this one. Final score, 37-34. Clemson will get the win in the end, but this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be as close of a game as Clemson is going to get this season. I think Miami definitely competes really hard in this one, but I think Trevor Lawrence does not let his team lose. I mean, he's a great leader, great player in general, and he's had a lot of experience too. So I just don't think Trevor Lawrence lets his team lose here. I mean, if Clemson had a different quarterback, I'd honestly probably pick Miami here, but Trevor Lawrence, I trust in him a lot, and he's just a great quarterback all around. He's definitely a player that should be the top pick in the NFL draft in 2021, if not the second. So yeah, I think he's going to let his team win. 37-34 is going to be the final score here. I've got Clemson moving on to 4-0. However, for Miami, I don't think Miami is going to drop off a lot in the rankings for next week, especially if they do lose this game by a close amount, because Clemson, we rarely see any close games out of Clemson in the ACC anymore, especially over the past couple of seasons where they've been legit national contenders. So, but Clemson, I think, gets the win here in the end. I just don't see Miami going into Clemson and getting a big win like that. But, like, I think Miami's got the talent to possibly pull off an upset like this. I just don't think it happens in this particular week. That being said, that wraps up our prediction on this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this one, as well as your score predictions, etc. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. But yeah, then again, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I will see you all later.